From the research conducted in 2009 in England, the cost of mental health issues, including social and economical, was estimated to be 105 billion. This figure is likely to be an underestimate and takes into account costs for loss of productivity, replacing staff, amongst others. As illustrated by Table 1, it can be seen that there are various types of mental health issues. The figures generated in this respected table are from a survey carried out in England every 7 years to show the number of individuals who have different types of mental health problems each year. Rather than each year, some problems are asked about over an individual's lifetime. These problems are shown in this respected table and do vary, and the survey's report figures do not take into account institutions such as prisons, hospitals and psychiatric hospitals, but for the people living at home. Neurotransmitters, also known as chemical messengers, are endogenous chemicals that enable neurotransmission. Many neurotransmitters exist within the brain. However, those most studied in relation to mental disorders are dopamine, norepinephrine, serotonin, acetylcholine, and gamma-aminobutyric acid, also abbreviated and known as GABA. The animation here illustrates neurotransmission of an action potential to release GABA at the synapse. However, disruptions in this and other neurotransmitter systems, which include the neurotransmitter themselves, their specific receptors, and how they function within the brain, by acting upon their specific receptors, can result in mental disorders. GABA is the primary inhibitory neurotransmitter within the brain, and is responsible for producing the calming, rhythmic electrical impulses and helps individuals maintain mental focus and manage stress by regulating the body's internal rhythm. This is done by GABA exerting its effects through two distinct receptors, the GABA A and GABA B receptor. This includes increasing alpha waves and reduces impulses known as beta waves. Thus, the emotional well-being of an individual is directly affected by the rate the brain receives these electrical impulses. Despite all the subjective claims and reports made by marketers in respect to their specific supplement, GABA supplements can be extremely effective, but in many cases they aren't very successful in crossing the blood-brain barrier, thus not being able to reach our brains. This is because the body limits GABA levels in the brain by transporting it out of the central nervous system and into the bloodstream through a special one-way pump. However, there are alternatives to consuming these supplements, which include eating foods that are high in GABA precursors. Some of these foods include almonds, bananas, broccoli, liver, brown rice, mackerel, halibut, lentils, cherry tomatoes, spinach, and wheat germ. In addition to this, regular yoga practice has also been demonstrated to stimulate the benefits of GABA production, with one study illustrating an increase of GABA by 27% after just 1 hour of exercise. Benzodiazepines work in the central nervous system and possess muscle relaxant and anxiolytic properties, among others, by enhancing the effect of the inhibitory neurotransmitter at the GABA A receptor. However, they should generally only be utilised therapeutically in the short term. Long-term effects can result in drug dependence as well as other adverse effects on physical health, cognitive function, and mental health. Our modern unhealthy lifestyle is largely to blame for an increase in mental health issues, and has significantly caused an estimated 86% of Americans to have below an optimal neurotransmitter level, causing an imbalance in this system. This will continue to rise until this imbalance in neurotransmitter level is rectified and thus balanced out. Therefore, the idea of healthy eating, not to lose weight, but to maintain and increase GABA levels, must be proposed. This idea originates from the fact that so many people in the 21st century eat unhealthily and are consequently prescribed benzodiazepines for a range of mental health issues, such as depression. However, if these individuals began to eat more healthily, this would increase and maintain GABA levels within their bodies and could have the potential to prevent such mental illnesses. Young people and adults are bombarded by advertisers spending billions of dollars on sponsored media channels, including television, internet, radio, and magazines, to deliver their message and promote their specific unhealthy food product. This integrated approach used by companies to advertise food has resulted in a substantial increase in obesity, which really does reinforce the persuasive nature that this integrated approach has on the population, and the potential it can have if used to promote healthy foods rich in GABA. In addition to the aforementioned health benefits of consuming foods that are high in GABA precursors or producers, individuals will also benefit when this area obtains the mass amount of advertising that is rightfully due via the placebo effect. This effect is hypothesized to vary between individuals as a result of genetic variation. This term is used to describe the variation in the DNA sequence in each of our genomes, which is what makes us all unique. Through the use of complex neuroimaging technologies, placebos were found to activate neurotransmitter pathways in the brain. Interestingly, the pathways that are activated are different to the neurotransmitter pathways that are activated by medication, and thus providing an explanation to why they are not equivalent. This illustrates how there may be other ways to treat people besides the effective medications provided by large corporations. Consequently, this leaves me to reinforce, please, do not wait until there is a problem, but instead prepare for the mental health issues that have the potential to arise through eating unhealthily. Thank you for listening.